What's going on, guys? Aldrin Anastacio here with FlytPath.com, and today I actually have a 3-axis gimbal, or they call it a smartphone stabilizer. This one's called the Smooth-Q, and it's from the company called Zhiyun Tech, or Zhiyun. Now, if you remember my video probably a couple years ago, I'm actually a pretty big fan of theirs because when they started out, they actually made one of the first action camera or wearable gimbals. This is the older Rider M, and I still use it till today. This is a 3-axis wearable because you can it has a very small mount. It doesn't have like a big pole or accessory to it. You can mount this onto your chest or your helmet, side of a car and things like that. So they were one of the first ones that came out with these a couple years ago. I know there's a few other companies that have them as well. But I was excited that they wanted to send me to review the Zhiyun Tech Smooth-Q because of the fact that, you know, smartphones these days, the camera resolutions, camera video quality are so good. A lot of people want to get into video, and this is a very, very good way to just start getting into it, using your smartphone device, getting really smooth footage. This video is really just a quick unboxing of this. I'm going to do another video later doing some test footage and some examples. So let's get into the unboxing. So for those who aren't too familiar with a stabilizer or a gimbal, basically if you're holding your mobile device and you wanted to shoot some video and you're hand holding it, there is a lot of movement that's going on when you're walking or when you are just trying to shoot a video nice and steady. So basically there's a lot of jitters, a lot of movement, and what these smartphone stabilizers or gimbals do is they have motors on them to counteract those movements, to keep everything nice and smooth, keep your footage nice and cinematic when you're walking and when you're panning around shooting video. As you see here on the front, we just have a nice photo. This lets you know what color it is. So we are going with the black Smooth-Q. On the back, it gives you some basic information of what it comes with. It comes with a cable and a case. Has some info about direct mobile charge through, instant manual zooming with the application. And the big thing that everyone's talking about is this thing has an internal battery of 12 continuous hours, and you can also mount it horizontal as well as vertical. So a lot of people that do Instagram stories, this really works well if you're using for Instagram stories as well as live, because you can use this gimbal and shoot vertically. So let's go ahead and open up this box. See here on the side, I think we just have to slide it out. All right, there we go. And then open this up. And I'm actually doing this for the very first time, so you are seeing it as I unbox it. Ooh, this comes with a really nice little case here. As you can see, it looks like a mini guitar, and it has their Zhiyun logo right here. It has the user guide version 1.2. Over here we have some, looks like some straps. Couple straps. I'm assuming the straps is for the bag. So here's what we have that comes in the box. As you can see, it is a USB to micro USB cable. We have the user guide, and then we have a strap, which is more than likely a strap just to hold or carry around your gimbal. Let's open this up and see exactly what comes inside here. Here it is. This is a very nice case. Actually, if you could tell, it's nice and molded. So while you're transporting your gimbal, this thing doesn't bang around. I know some other cases, they used to come in like a cloth case or things like that. So it's nice to see that, because I've seen some past reviews where it just came in some like cloth. Now it actually comes in a molded hard case for you to transport it in. So very nice touch for Zhiyun to do that. So here it is, the handheld stabilizer or gimbal for your smartphone by Zhiyun Tech. Now my first impression on this is after holding like something like an Osmo, this is a little bit different. The Osmo had that rubber grip on it. This one doesn't. This one is more of just a smooth plastic. And I think the one thing that I liked, which a lot of people are talking about, which the Osmo didn't come with, is this quarter 20 at the bottom. Now, the big thing with this is a lot of people are using them for tripods and things like that, because this doesn't really come with a stand. If you wanted to stand this up to be confident and have it, you want to make sure it's on some sort of tripod. So a quarter 20 on the bottom is a really nice touch for them to have. The side mount here, which is the port for a micro USB, this is to be used, I believe, for software updates as well as charging. So there is an internal battery here that is rated for 12 hours of use. So there's a USB here on the back, and the one thing that they did incorporate is that because there's such a large battery on the inside, if you wanted to charge your mobile device while you're using it, or just charge your mobile device on the side, you're able to plug in here and it will then charge your mobile device. On the front, we'll go through a couple of the controls. We have the joystick here, which is to adjust the camera while it's inside of the gimbal. So you're able to tilt and move, and moves left, right, up and down. We have the mode button right here. So you're able to switch different modes. And then you have the record button. Now this is the wide and tight. This is for zooming. Now the only way I believe you use this wide and tight zoom is if you're connected directly to the application. Then that way you're able to use it via Bluetooth. Connected to the app from here, and then you can actually zoom in and pull back while you're shooting. Let's look at the top. So the top here, we have a nice rubber to hold your phone in place. We have it on the top and bottom and on the back, and then to insert your phone, you're just gonna be pulling these apart. Now I'll put the specs down below of what phones or phone sizes are compatible with this gimbal, just to make sure that you have the right one and you're not using some oversized one that won't fit into the clamps. You also have rubber on the inside here to keep it in place once it sits inside. And then on the back, you have this knob, which is to adjust. So once you get the phone in here, you want to make sure it's balanced by adjusting this right here. There's a little knob, and you're able to pull this in and out, and that makes sure that you are actually balanced from left to right. So depending on what size phone you have and what the weight of it is, just as long as you put it in here, turn this and adjust this so that it'll balance, tighten it up, and then once you power on the gimbal, everything should balance up properly. So I actually have my old iPhone 6. Now I just want to do this for the very first time with you guys and see if I can balance this correctly. So from what I know, you just have to put this in here, slide this down, and what you want to do is just see where this thing balances. So as you can see here, it's leaning to the left just a little bit. So from what I know from the videos, what you want to do is just make sure that this is balanced across. So I'll pull this out just a bit. I'll do one more adjustment. And there you go. So it's in the middle, right? So now that it's in the middle and it's not leaning to one side or the other, that was my very first time trying to even adjust this gimbal. So as you can tell, it's very quick. Now all we have to do is power it up. Let me see if there's a battery in here. I'll hit power. Press and hold that power button. And voila, there you go. It is powered up and it is nice and balanced. As you can see here from the top, let me adjust this down. That way you can see what I'm seeing. And here you go. Now there's a bunch of different modes. Like I mentioned, I'm gonna go through those modes later in another video, show you some test footage. But that was my initial setup. As you can see, all I had to do was do a couple adjustments on the arm to make sure that the left and right tilt wasn't leaning too far to one side or the other. And then once you get that balanced out, all you have to do is power it on and it'll then balance out the top and bottom. So there it is. As you can see here, if I'm moving this around a lot, my camera stays nice and steady. I know there's a few different modes that I'll play with and test out later. But that was a very, very quick unboxing and quick setup. So that was landscape with the Zhiyun. What's great about this thing, which they market, is that you're able to turn this knob here and loosen it. Then you could turn your phone to its side and retighten it. That way you can shoot in portrait mode for those that are always shooting in my stories in Instagram and things like that. It allows you to do a portrait mode shot. Turn this upright and then power it on. And there we go. We are now in portrait mode. Boom, there it is. So we're now in portrait mode. I can adjust this just a little bit here, put it up a little bit higher. And now we can actually shoot on Instagram stories or things like that in this mode. That way your video will be filling the screen for your stories, as well as when people are watching in live, So I do plan on doing some live stuff while I'm at CES as well. So this might work well while I'm in portrait mode on my mobile device. So there it is, guys. Just a quick unboxing of the Zhiyun handheld gimbal or handheld stabilizer for your smartphone device. Like I mentioned, I'm going to be utilizing this thing when I'm in CES this week, also doing some test footage around the area, incorporating that maybe with some arrows or something like that. But just wanted to make sure I give it a full review, do some test footage, put some side-by-side things to show you exactly what it does, how it works, what the modes do, and things like that. So this was just a very quick unboxing. If you guys got some value from my video, please don't forget to hit that like button. And of course, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. This is Aldrin Estacio with FlytPath.com. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.